Hello there, geometry fans. I am Mr. Brooks. In case you don't remember who I am, I'm that handsome-looking fellow that's lost a bit of hair, incredibly physically fit, and always a joy to have in class. And I'm here to talk to you today about Section 10.4. It's a tangent ratio. All right. As you can see right here, Mr. Houston's got this tangent of A is leg opposite A over leg adjacent A. So let me kind of break this down into Mr. Brooks terms for you here. Basically, the tangent, this A is an angle that you're standing in. Okay, so for example, if I have a triangle, we're going to say it's A, here's B, and this is C. So here's our triangle, and basically they're saying, okay, if you're standing in this corner in A, so the opposite side, which would be C, so we would label our triangle O there because he's the opposite. This would be the adjacent side, and obviously this is still the hypotenuse. Notice though, every triangle I'm going to work with, guys, I'm going to label them O, H, and A, the sides. That helps me fill in this. And so basically, if you're standing here at A, so that's what they mean, tangent of A equals opposite over adjacent. So in this case, let's say it was 4 over 5. The tangent of A is 4 over 5. Now going into example 1, they're wanting to know what the ratio is. So basically it'd be, when you divide this out, what do you get? All right. So in this first one, it says find the tangent ratio. All right. And we're going to do it for each angle, basically. Okay. So first, let's start with J. So if you're standing at J, okay, the opposite, which is going to be 10, over the adjacent, which is 24. So we'd say tangent of J is 10 over 24. You know what? I told you I was going to label these all. So this would be my opposite. This is my adjacent. This is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is always opposite the 90-degree angle. Always, always. Okay? So when we work that out, you're going to get 0.42. Whoops. Not 4.2. 0.42. Okay? Now, let's go a different color. Let's say, okay, we're going to go tangent of G. All right? So tangent of G, we're just going to figure out what the ratio is. Now here, since we're at G, this is now the opposite. This would now be the adjacent. Hypotenuse doesn't change. He's still going to be 26. And tangent doesn't deal with hypotenuse, so that's why we're never going to use this guy here either. It's O over A. O over A. H is not involved here. So now it's 24 over 10. So you work that out. Take 24 divided by 10, and you should get 2.4. Okay? So that's how we find just the ratio. All right? Just finding the tangent ratio in that first one, okay? But the biggest thing to remember so far is just that tangent is opposite over adjacent. Really, we're not going to use this hypotenuse leg at all in this whole section, okay? Okay, now the next one here in example 2, folks, it's simple calculator work. And it wants to know, okay, what's the approximate tangent of 62 degrees, meaning if one of your angles is 62 degrees, what does that work out to as far as the tangent ratio? All right, you don't need to mess with the sides at all. All you're going to do is in your calculator, if you're using one of the red calculators, you're just going to press the tangent button, 62, and then hit equals. Now my phone calculator, I have to hit 62 first and then hit tangent. But it says round to 4 decimal places, so I get 1.88072. So 4 decimal places, so that means we're going to stop here. Now is the 2 going to tell me to go up to an 8 or stay a 7? All right, hopefully you're saying stay a 7. Okay, so this is about 1.8807, and that's all you got to do. Just some simple calculator work. If your calculator is a little different, just let somebody know. We can help you figure out how to use it. Okay, let's look at example 3. Now we're going to find the length of a side here. Okay, now we're still going to use our basic tangent properties, which tangent equals, again, opposite over adjacent. Now what angle are they giving me here? They're giving me this angle here. Even though he doesn't have a letter, you can just say, okay, we're working with this angle 35. Okay? So since this is the angle I'm working with, let's look across. There's your opposite. That means x is the adjacent. So what you're going to do is you're just going to plug everything into this right here. So now we're going to say, okay, tangent, since they give us the degrees, we're going to put that there. Tangent of 35 degrees equals my opposite, which is 7, over the adjacent, which we don't know. We could call him x even instead of a. Let's call him x. Okay? So now we solve for x. All right, now to get x by itself, this is a little different here. That's 7 divided by x. So I need to multiply both sides by x first. All right. So now we're going to have tangent of 35 times x equals 7. Now how do you solve for x? Well, these are being multiplied together, so we divide. Divide by tangent of 35. So in your calculator, you're going to take 7 and divide it by tangent of 35. And I got 9.997. So I'm just going to round that up to 10, if that's okay. So x equals 10. So this side right here is going to be 10 units long. Okay? So again, we just plugged in to this, opposite over adjacent. We labeled our triangle, the O and the A first. That's really, really important to do. All right? And then we just did some algebra. All right? Moving on. Okay, so here is our example 4. Here is our side, or our angle. So look opposite. There's your opposite side. Then that means this is the adjacent. So here we're going to say tangent of 42 degrees equals my opposite, which is 12, over the adjacent, which is x again. So this is just like the last one, really. So all we got to do is multiply by x to both sides. So now we have tangent of 42 times x equals 12. Now divide by tangent of 42. And let's see here. Let me crank up my calculator again. So 12 divided by tangent of 42. And I get 13.3. So that is how long that side is right there, 13.3. Okay? Now, I want to show you a little trick just to extend off of example 4. All right, we're just going to work this out to the side here a little bit. You know, you're given two angles in the triangle, right? Could you figure out what this third one is? Sure you could. All you got to do, remember, they all add up to 180 degrees. So in your calculator, take 180 minus 90 minus 42. And this other one would actually be 48 degrees. So let's redraw this guy. So there's the 90. Here's the 42. This is now 48 degrees. You could, okay, this was x, this is 12. All right. We could work this using tangent of 48 degrees. and it's a little bit easier algebra involved. So tangent of 48 degrees equals the opposite, which in this case is x, over the adjacent, which is 12. So opposite x over 12. Now to solve for x, we multiply by 12. This will actually save us a step in the algebra. So now to find x, you just take 12 times tangent of 48 will equal your x. Okay, so now I go 12 times 48 tangent, and I get 13.3 again. So you should get the same thing no matter what. But it's a different way of doing it, okay? Just figure out what the third angle is, which we did right here, and use that. I kind of like this a little better because, look, it was a lot easier to multiply the 12 and then just multiply these together. We're over here, all right? We had to move the x over and then divide away from the x, all right? I mean, just figure out that third angle and might be a little bit faster, all right? If you're not sure about that, just ask one of us, okay? But hopefully I'm not speaking Greek. And yes, I do know this video is going a little bit long, but that's all right. Example 5. We want to figure out the height of this building, all right? And again, your reference point is right here, 65 degrees, all right? So, let's label. This would be the opposite. This side would be your adjacent, right? And if it helps, you write this every time. Tangent equals O over A. So in this case, tangent of 65 degrees equals H over 30. Now to solve for 30, that's H divided by 30, so that's why we multiply by 30. And those cancel. So now I'm going to take 30 times the tangent of 65, and that's going to give me the height of this building. So now we just multiply it out. So 30 times, I got 64.34. So the height of that building is 64.34, and they give me a unit of measurement, so it's feet. Make sure you label that. Okay? This one worked out nice because my letter was on top. All right? If it wasn't, you could have figured out this angle and said, okay, opposite over adjacent like that. Okay? If that had been helpful. So that's section 10.4. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great day.